Florida just made history. A landmark court ruling struck down the state's open carry ban after nearly 40 years. This now makes it legal for adults to open carry firearms in public or most public spaces for the first time in decades. Now, does this mean you can go open carry everywhere in Florida? Not so fast. In this video, I'll break down what the new open carry law really means, which places are still off limits, and how enforcements differ from county to county, and why both supporters and critics are speaking out. Want to know more about this law and how it's going to take effect in your daily life and your rights? Well, stick around right here on Florida Firearms to find out more. Hey, Steve here, and welcome back to Florida Firearms. Florida's move towards becoming an open carry state in 2025 is generating a debate about safety, rights, and daily life. Here are relevant talking points supported by the most recent legal and local enforcement updates. A Florida appeals court ruled that a nearly 40-year-old ban on open carry is unconstitutional, referencing the Second Amendment and the U.S. Supreme Court precedent. Enforcement now varies from county to county, with several sheriffs halting arrests for open carry pending final court actions. This patchwork means some areas will allow open carry, while others may not. Law-abiding adults can now openly carry firearms in many public places, but enforcement and community response may differ locally until the ruling is finalized. Some sheriffs and officials see open carry as a deterrent to crime and a reaffirmation of constitutional rights, while critics note that potentially confusion and safety concerns may exist. Now, open carry is not absolute. Businesses, private property owners, certain locations such as schools, courthouses, police stations, and bars retain the authority to prohibit firearms on their premises. Nothing's really changed as far as gun owners go. They're urged to take safety courses and carefully follow laws to avoid escalation, misunderstandings, or actually violating restricted area prohibitions. Now, proponents argue that open carry restores Second Amendment protections and may reduce criminal activity by making lawful gun owners' ownership visible. However, adversaries highlight the increased risk of panic, confrontation, and the need for public awareness regarding the places where open carry remains restricted. Now, this legal shift sets Florida alongside most states that have open carry provisions, but local enforcement, individual rights, and responsibilities remain central in the conversation. Well, let's go over some talking points here. We'll start with the open carry. For open carry, the visibility is one factor. If the firearm is visible to others, this may serve as a deterrent to potential criminals, but it also can cause public discomfort and sometimes draw unwanted attention. Now, access allows for quicker access to emergencies since the weapon is not hidden under clothing. However, there are some legal restrictions. Generally, fewer permits are required, but more places, such as business, government buildings, and events, tend to ban open carry. Now, there are also some risks involved, and this may be the carrier could be a target for someone who attempts to disarm them, and this can increase it with unwanted interaction with law enforcement and public misunderstanding. Now, let's look at the tactical side. This acts as a visual deterrent, but reduces the element of surprise in defensive scenarios. In other words, if the bad person sees someone carrying a gun, you could be the target. There's also social perceptions, and this can mean that you can come off as being intimidating or alarming depending on the community norms. Now, let's talk about concealed carry. Some of the talking points here are discretion, for instance. It keeps the firearm hidden, which avoids public discomfort and allows the carry to kind of blend in with the crowd. Of course, you have technical advantage because maintaining the element of surprise, this is a good advantageous defensive situation should the need arise. Now, there are legal requirements. These mean that you often require a permit, training, and regular compliance. and fewer restrictions in public spaces, of course, but forbidden in some locations. Now, there are some drawbacks too. The drawbacks to carrying concealed are slow access compared to open carry, and this may be less effective as a visible deterrent. Of course, comfort is another factor to think about. Concealed carry can be less comfortable and requires wardrobe adjustments and proper holster selection to make effective concealment. Then, there's a social perception. You can be seen in a more socially acceptable and less likely to attract attention and alarm others. In other words, what they don't see is not going to bother them. You're not going to trigger, no pun intended, reactions from the general public. So does this mean that I'm going to open carry? No, I choose not to, but that's for a personal preference. But it's nice to know, though, that I'll have great freedom to do so if I do choose to open carry at times. So go ahead and let us know your thoughts about in the comments below about open carry. Do you believe that people should open carry or not? Would you open carry if your state allowed it? Again, thanks for watching. This is Steve, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. Click the like button if you think it so desires, and click that bell for notifications of upcoming videos. Again, this is Steve from Florida Firearms. Till next time, stay safe.